Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I would also like to welcome Spirit into this reading and say thank you for the messages we are about to receive. This is a love reading for Virgo from the 17th to the 30th of December 2018. Please don't forget to watch your moon and rising sign for a more complete picture. And if you would like a personal reading, I put my email address and my website details in the description box, so please send me an email. I've also put the decks that I'm using and I put in links to Amazon and eBay, so click on these links to buy the decks. I also will be putting out my 2019 yearly spreads for work, love and general readings, and I'll link it at the end of the videos. I'll be putting them into individual playlists so you can access these playlists and watch the videos. And so please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and leave me some comments if these messages resonate with you. So I'm starting off with this general energy read and then I will do a general tarot read after that. Okay, so there seems to be some situation going on here. There's a lot of flirting going along and around, and there's a lot of jealousy going around, and this jealousy is unfounded. Maybe you're flirting and your partner's jealous, or maybe your partner's flirting and you are jealous. But this jealousy doesn't seem to be something that should be, you shouldn't pursue it. It's really unfounded. You might need to be seeking some kind of counseling advice as well regarding your relationship. So you've got a lot of news and communication coming in for you in the last few months, and you learned a lot of important lessons during those months. It seems like, there were good lessons that you've learned, and this was really good news, and maybe you had a lot of, communication between you and your partner going on. Now, it seems like you've decided that you're going to be moving on. So maybe this is a relationship that didn't work out for you, and you've decided to move on because you've decided that this person is not the one. So it seems maybe this is, there was a lot of jealousy within that relationship, and, you've been seeking some kind of advice, or you want to seek some kind of advice, but all in all, you really want to move on because you've decided that this is not the person for you. Okay, so that's the energies for that week, or those 2 weeks, rather. So I have shuffled this deck. I'm just going to draw some cards from it. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles over here, and this is really a card that pertains to you. So you're very, very independent and very, very established in your work, and you've been focusing a lot on your work. Very self-made, you're earning pretty well, you're very stable as well, and you're enjoying the finer things in life because you're buying it for yourself. You're on top of your game as far as your work goes, and it looks like you've been spending a lot of time focusing on your work. Maybe you have some kind of management position, you have a high position and you're earning pretty well. So there doesn't seem to be much, financial problems over here as far as this goes. Right, what's happening with you? You've got the Queen of Swords, and it is crossed by the Two of Pentacles. So it seems like, this relationship of yours, maybe you were in a relationship. You're spending a lot of time by yourself right now, very heartbroken and hurt by something that's happened in the past. You feel very betrayed because this is the card that's standing up. And crossing it is the Two of Pentacles. So you did have this new relationship that started, but maybe the person that you were involved in was maybe a bit too controlling. They wanted to do whatever they wanted to do, and maybe they were not going down the same pathway as you. You wanted a bit more control in this relationship, and it seems like maybe they were a bit overwhelming. They were trying to push you around or trying to make you do things that you didn't want to do. Or maybe even this relationship was not going fast enough for you, or it was definitely a new relationship because you've got these children over here and these young goats. You were not on the same path. It seems like what you wanted was different from what the other person wanted. You wanted a little bit more control of it. You wanted it to move quickly, and maybe this person was just stuck or was not making any kind of commitment to this relationship, and maybe they were just overwhelming you, or maybe trying to bully you into doing things that you didn't want to do, and this was not something that you were happy with. So it seems like maybe you've decided that you want to abandon this relationship because it was really not going the way you wanted it to go. This child seems to be trying to kiss this woman, or trying to do this child is trying to kiss the other child, and the other child is not accepting it. So this person seems to want this child to do something, and she doesn't want to do it. So maybe in this relationship you didn't want to do a lot of things. You were not comfortable doing a lot of things within the relationship, and it seems like this has been the bone of contention between you and the other person. So it seems like you've decided you're better off alone, and you don't feel like you need this person, because the Queen of Swords, she's a very independent person. So it seems like if you're coming across as the Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's well established and earning their own money, it seems like with this Queen of Swords, you don't really need anybody else to make decisions for you. You'd rather be alone and independent than having to put up with somebody else's desires or somebody else's bullying, if you like. So it seems like in this last year, if you've been in a relationship, you seem to have ended it with this 10 of Rods and moved on. Maybe there was a third person situation involved in it, but it seems like you'll have decided to move on. You can see this is they're parting ways at the station. So you actually are going your own separate ways. Maybe you're physically moved away from each other, but you're decided that this was not worth it. Maybe the relationship had too many burdens and too many problems, and you've decided to end it. So in the last 3 months, there seems to be some kind of relationship that has come in. It seems to be a very sexual relationship, because you've got this Ace of Rods over here, but it could just well be a relationship with a very strong sexual attraction. And maybe you are having some kind of encounter, but it's something new that has come in, and it seems to be going on for a few months now, and it's based on that. It doesn't seem to be very committed at the moment, but it might be something that you're enjoying. It doesn't seem to have any strings attached, rather. So what's in your mind? You don't want to be in a relationship where somebody else is controlling you. You don't want to be in a relationship where you are taking the back seat. You want to be the person that is actually involved in, establishing or moving that relationship. So you want to be an equal partner. And I think this is worrying you, that in any relationship that you get into, that you are going to be somebody who's dominated. And this is not something that is on your mind. And maybe this is the reason why you've ended that relationship. So whatever this relationship is, you didn't want it to get to this point where it's an old established relationship where you are taking the back seat. Especially now, initially when you started off, this person is still trying to push you around. And so maybe this is the reason why you have decided that this is enough. You want to change and you want to move on to something different. So it looks like you're ending this relationship and moving on. Now, what's happening with you? It looks like there might be something new coming in. Maybe you've met somebody whom you have a very good friendship with at the moment. You seem to be attracted to this person. Maybe this is the person that you are having that kind of relationship with. A relationship that is, very sexually based. On the other hand, going back to this card, this relationship that you are in might be just something that is very sexually based, as opposed to being something that is committed. And this is why you're giving it up, because it's not going where you want it to go. But it seems like you are going to be meeting somebody who is, somebody you can talk to, somebody who's on your level, who understands you, and you have a very, very intimate relationship with them on a very intellectual basis. And it seems like they are very supportive and will help you get through any kind of problems you've gone through, because this is 6 of Swords, and it's moving away from difficult situations with the help of somebody. So it seems like somebody is coming in for you, and maybe you've met them already, and they are helping you get through any kind of problems that you're going through. So there is somebody there at the moment. Now around you, the relationship that you are in, it looks like you're losing interest in that relationship, and you are feeling a little bit tied up in it. Maybe you're not even interested in that person that you're with anymore, and this is the reason why you want to end that relationship. You have just gone onto 2 different pathways, and it is something that is, you're not connecting anymore. maybe you're feeling tied, maybe they're feeling tied up, restricted, and it seems like, you don't even seem to be passionate about each other anymore. So what you want is that a deep spiritual connection with this Two of Cups. You want to be in a relationship where you can exchange emotions with somebody. And maybe this relationship that you're in is not providing you with that depth that you want. Maybe it is just based solely on sex and you are not happy with it. You want something deeper. So going into the future, you've got the Hermit card, you've got the Nine of Swords, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. So the Hermit card, spending a lot of time by yourself, this is your card. It is the card ruled by Virgo. So it seems like you're going to be abandoning that relationship and just concentrating and focusing more on your work with this card. And then you've got the Nine of Swords over here. It seems like you've looked at this relationship very thoroughly and decided that it was really not for you and you are going to move on. So the Nine of Swords, it usually is a high anxiety card. Maybe you're a bit stressed out about being alone, but looking at that relationship, it's not something that you want to be involved in anymore. So it seems like you've decided that you would rather be alone than spend time in a relationship that is not giving you that depth of emotion that you want. And it seems like you are going to be focused a lot more on work. You can see this is the Seven of Pentacles, being very busy. So, once you start focusing a lot more on work, it seems like that's going to be the thing that takes all your attention, because this woman's running around, trying to sort out anything to do with work, because you can see she's following the money over here. So it seems like you're going to establish yourself more in your work and focus more on your work rather than trying to look for a new relationship. And you're taking on that role of being Virgo. You might be doing some extra studying as well with a Hermit. So it seems like you're going to be really, really busy soon. That's coming up. But abandoning that relationship, or even pursuing the relationship, it seems like you prefer to be by yourself. Even this woman is running around, but she's by herself. So it seems like that's where you're going to be focused. You're going to be focused on building up your life again, or building up your work career, rather than actually spending time on a relationship. So it seems like you're leaving this relationship behind and moving on because you've lost interest in it. There might be somebody, like I said, who is a very, very close friend of yours, but from the cards that follow, it doesn't seem like, it might not even develop into a committed relationship or anything that's going to be a long-term relationship. It's more like a very, very good friend as opposed to being a relationship. Maybe you've decided to focus more on your career now and, get over this past relationship that you had. Rather focus on establishing yourself in your career rather than pursuing a relationship. So you've got the Ten of Raphael, and that says, it says harmonious relationships with family members, but usually this is the card of, finishing off, this is the 10, so you're finishing off a relationship or finishing off problems. It's an ending of a cycle. There's the rainbow coming up over here. So, you are ending something that had a lot of problems, and you are moving more towards your own stability rather than actually focusing on a relationship. So this is the end of that relationship. And you've got the Ten of Gabriel over here. So this is the Ten of burden, the end of any kind of burdensome situation as well. It's similar to the Ten of Rods. So you are finishing off that relationship because there was a lot of problems and a lot of hassles, and it was something that you were not willing to put up. You were trying too hard to please the other person, and you have reached a point where you're tired of doing that, so you're moving on. And you can see with the Eight of Michael over here, you can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, maybe not seeing things clearly. So you're trying to open the gates into a new relationship or a chapter of your life, and you're trying to end off what you have been, the relationship that you are in. Maybe you are feeling a bit restricted by that relationship, and you are trying to end it. So you are making that decision to move on. And you can see with this Death card, you have made a concerted effort to actually end that relationship. It's not, it doesn't seem like it's something that is serving you anymore. It's got, where it's going, it's not where you want to be. You're not happy with where it's been going. And it seems like you've taken the stance that you'd rather be alone than actually spend any more time or effort or making any more sacrifices for that particular relationship. Maybe it's left you a bit heartbroken. You've got the Virgo card over here, the Hermit card over here. This is also a card of wanting to spend time by yourself and maybe focus a lot more on your work, building up your work career, rather than actually spending time and effort on a relationship that you have lost interest in. It seems like you've lost interest in that relationship. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to watch my 2019 videos for the love, work, and general reads. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.